If you put a video on the internet trying to make a case for your beliefs to the public, I'm going to explain why I don't find your arguments convincing. What's the problem there exactly?
You're ignoring the part where you lie about me? You criticized my video for points I already addressed in the parts that you edited out. That's insane, bruh. So, no, this is actually a bold-faced lie. You should have just said, I'm not an anti-theist, I just like to lie and misrepresent people online. I have an announcement to make. Do not target or harass this person featured in the video. Seriously, do not do it. But guys, real quick, I gotta show you something before we do the... Look at what I made for y'all. Look at that. And so it doesn't have sound effects, but I'll be making the sound effects myself. Look at this. Oh, look at this, guys. We got a movie theater. This is what a cool looking stream looks like. We are watching a video today. His video he made on me, which is called Atheist Debate Bros Are Losers. He quoted me on that. He actually got the quote right there. Yeah, I can't fault him for that. And then in the first frame, this is the first frame of the video, by the way. He says, here's a guy who thinks atheist YouTubers are losers, which is not what I said. Like, I swear, about 6 times in my video, I went back and counted, about 6 times I specified it's not atheists that I have a problem with. You guys are great. A lot of you are incredibly nice. It's these people who are just incredibly insufferable. It's the debate me bros, I like to call them. It's the easiest way to think about it. But let's click on the video.
Here's a guy who thinks atheist YouTubers are losers.
Losers. I'm sorry, the way I've watched this like 10 times. The way he says losers gets me every time.
Just enjoying your daily dose of brain rot, memes, until finally you run into them.
Oh,
the
what do we run
debate me
into?
bros.
Oh no.
Like there are literally random dudes on
guys.
the screen saying,
This is
God
horrible.
is not good, he is evil,
What?
but God also doesn't exist.
I know you're trying to make that sound like a contradiction, but am I contradicting myself if I say that Darth Vader is evil but also doesn't exist?
Okay, so here's the funny thing. Mainly that was for a joke. I know that's a common theist talking point. They're like, how can you hate something that doesn't exist? Yeah, I know that's a common talking point. It's more just like, it sounds funny. That's why I added it. That's why I had it for the intro. We gotta have something funny. It wasn't a real talking point. But keep in mind, this is like foreshadowing for the future. He mentions Darth Vader. He says that Darth Vader doesn't exist, yet we can still call him evil. I'm gonna hold you to that, buddy.
And if you voted for Trump, you are a horrible human being, despite them not believing truth even exists.
Truth exists. Are you going to deny truth exists?
That is a deeper philosophical debate.
No.
Which definition of truth are you using? The most common conception of truth seems to be the correspondence theory. That's the idea that truth is when a claim or belief matches reality in some sense. I have no problem believing that claims about reality can match it. Being an atheist doesn't preclude my belief in that. Why would a god need to exist in order for claims or beliefs to depict reality?
So with this, he's saying right here, why do I need to believe in a god to be able to describe what reality is? Truth, in a sense, is simply descriptions of reality, claims about reality. It's describing what physical reality is to us. The problem is, an atheist, fundamentally speaking, is a materialist. You believe in what you can see. That's fundamentally why you place your trust in science. Science verifies what is true. The problem with that, though, is science is not substantiated by science. In order to be able to place your trust in the idea that truth exists, you need another source. You need something to confirm its validity. Why do you believe in science? That essentially, at the end of the day, is sense data. And this is the most common for people like Aaron Ra or Matt Dillahunty. He literally says the exact same thing. Fundamentally, you're going to have to place faith in it without any sort of evidence, without any sort of epistemic justification. That's fundamentally what it means to be an atheist. You have to believe in something without any physical, empirical, or material proof.
We haven't been able to come up with something that is demonstrably a guarantor of logic or a guarantor of human dignity or any of the things that you might list. And so it's completely unsurprising to me that, and I think it's true, a worldview that includes a belief in a God that could serve as a guarantor for all of those things makes the world make sense.
Science describes what reality is. How can you trust what science says, though? Science cannot confirm the validity of science, just like the Bible cannot confirm the validity of the Bible. Just because the Bible says that God exists or that the Bible is true doesn't mean that it's trustworthy. I absolutely agree with you. The problem is that also extends to science. You can go deeper into these things, but here's the fundamental problem. As a Christian, as somebody who believes that there's something beyond the materialistic world, that makes the Christian worldview consistent. Whereas for you, you arbitrarily decide that God doesn't fit into the picture. And to fundamentally believe in something without any real evidence, that is a problem you have as an atheist. And that also applies to logic, which he will go into detail right after this.
Are you a Bible-believing Christian?
Indeed.
What do you got for me, Oswald?
Atheism cannot prove logic exists, therefore any atheist.
Oh, off. What an idiot.
He's really smart for this, by the way. That guy, he's a bit devious for kicking him knowing that he's not going to win the conversation. But at least if you're an atheist, yeah, he knows that you can't fight that fight. I actually had a person come to me in private on Discord. He said, I went over to that guy trying to go on his live stream, and I asked him the exact same question, and I got kicked and just insulted. Yeah, it makes sense, because atheists cannot deal with this problem. That's the big issue they have. That's what we were originally addressing.
I have words that mean nothing. Goodbye, Oswald. Have yourself a wonderful night.
Why can't atheists prove logic exists?
See, he brought it up right here, but my previous point addressed all of this.
Anytime you use logic, you're proving it exists.
That's so stupid.
Maybe what this guy means is that atheists can't prove that logic is some woo-woo platonic form that exists independent of human minds. And it's true that atheists can't prove that, because it's nonsense that cannot be proven even if a god does exist.
They have the most obvious rage bait prompts right there for people to call in, which is pretty funny because if you look back, anti-theists and debate me bros, they've been some of the first people online to ever engage in rage bait. Like imagine showing up to debate ethics while your opponent is literally dressed up as Satan.
Was that video shot in an ethics debate? Also, what kind of argument is this?
Was that video shot in an ethics debate? Yes. Well, no, not this one. This one was shot in SatanCon, you know, and they like to be very provocative and just try and get people around them angry at them. Yeah, that's absolutely the case. Also, why are you asking this question? Are you like, I need a source to even confirm that atheist rage bait by dressing up as demons. Like, why are you asking this question as if it dismantles any of the things I'm saying right here? Yeah, people dress up as demons. These anti-theists love to dress up as demons to piss off Christians and get a rise out of them. And there are even times when Aaron Ra was in a debate and he had behind him, it was a bunch of satanic symbols, and he had a whole conversation about it. He purposely decided, hey, I'm going to have this debate about religion, and I'm having satanic imagery behind me. These same people, at least Aaron Ra in the shot, yeah, he does do these things during debates. Yes, it's very popular and common among atheists to do these types of things. What's that objection?
Also, what kind of argument is this? Atheists are wrong about ethics because they stopped by Spirit Halloween on the way to the debate?
You know what this video is about, guys? Guys, what's this video about? I really want to know. What could it possibly be about? Oh, just like what it says in the title of the video right there, guys. Why I hate atheist debate me bros. It wasn't titled why atheism is untrue. I never discussed in this video why Christians are correct, why any of these things, why God is real or true or he exists. That's not the topic. It's as we can see at the bottom right here, why I hate atheist debate me bros. That's also just something he constantly does in this video. He's always like, actually, that's not an argument against atheism. Like, yeah, buddy, that's not what we're talking about. Like, oh my goodness.
They're trying to rage bait the Christians into getting angry at them so they can call them fragile snowflakes.
Which I'm sure Trump voters have never ever done.
Which is funny, but
though this part really pisses me off. He's like, what about the Trump supporters, right, man? What about these Trump supporters who do the same thing? What about people on the right who rage bait, who are insufferable jerks? What about people on the right? Let's forget he's pulling a whataboutism with this. I literally address this in my video. I literally talk about how this is not a unique thing to people who are atheists. Whether you're an atheist or a Christian or any of this stuff, I literally mention that in this video. The same part of the video you cut out. This video right now is exactly 11 minutes and 44 seconds. my video he is reacting to, keep in mind, it has his response and my video in it, and the same one. It's not sped up. He just cut out half of my video. That's 5 minutes of video gone right there. And part of that video, I literally addressed this. This snake literally cut out half of the video and then said, what about people on the right? And it's as if he's making a point about anything. And this is not even a live reaction. This video is a video essay of itself. It's a response. He had the time to look over this, plan every single word he says, and he still decided to cut out half of my video and then pretend as if he's making any sort of point here. I addressed that. You snake. I addressed that in the part of the video you removed. Oh my goodness. This is what makes me so angry. You're just a liar. There's no way around it. Incredibly dishonest. What is going on here? I'm fine with you being angry, disagreeing with me, or calling me out for something you dislike. Go ahead. You are just lying about me right now. You are a snake, TMM.
Which is funny, but that's so 2008. You gotta evolve.
Yes, I have everything set. I have the demon horns and the pentagrams in the background. This'll totally trigger that Christian. What a sensitive snowflake he'll be.
I've yet to hear a rebuttal to a single
I haven't yet to hear a single rebuttal to an atheist argument. What atheist argument are we rebuttaling in this video titled, Why I Hate Atheists Debate Me Bros? Tell me, TMM, what are we talking about in this video? Oh my word. What is this? Bruh, let me just go over real quick. I'm gonna type in on YouTube, how to bake a chocolate cake. And then I'm gonna get angry at that video for not telling me how to make a lemon pie. It was a really shit video because you dishonest snake, TMM. I hate this. I never made any arguments against atheism or in favor of Christianity or in favor of God because that's not what the video is about. Why are you doing this? What's wrong with you?
single atheist argument.
No! Only I'm allowed to dress up as the bad guys. Don't you know how offensive that is?
Do you go to the Halloween costume store and complain about their double standard of selling devil costumes but not Austrian painter costumes?
No, you're just purposely misunderstanding what I'm talking about here. Both the Austrian painter and Satan are viewed as the most evil things in the world, just different groups. Yet you're perfectly fine when anti-theists antagonize Christians with this. Keep in mind, you didn't speak up whatsoever when it came to this guy. This guy is purposely antagonizing people, Christians, online.
What are you waiting for? I'm waiting for the Christians. I'm waiting for the Christians.
And he's dressing up with devil horns to profit from rage bait. In essence, dressing up as the Austrian painter is just as antagonistic and provocative. The only difference is you think one group is worth respecting, while the other one isn't. Now you might say, well, it's because the Austrian painter was a real person, and I don't believe that Satan exists. Therefore, it's perfectly fine for anti-theists to be provocative and antagonistic towards Christians with it. But let's go back to that Darth Vader example you gave earlier. Darth Vader doesn't exist, but you're perfectly fine with saying he is evil. What if, for example, let's say I was Disney, I got the rights to Darth Vader, and I changed his lore to be whatever I wanted. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, he actually came over to America, and he colonized America. He did the exact same things to the natives as the Americans did. And the natives now found it to be an extremely offensive fictional character. And then people dressed up as Darth Vader and went to the native communities to antagonize them. Would you be fine with that? Do you think that would be acceptable? I don't think you would. I think you would call that out, even though he doesn't exist. Something doesn't have to be real in order for it to be evil. The problem is, you just don't think Christians are worth being respected. But I could be completely wrong. Maybe you think it's just as ethical and fine to dress up as the Austrian painter as it is to dress up as Satan. Both the most evil icons and symbols in the world. Just at different groups though. And because all of this went way over your head, again, let me reiterate, it is to point out the inconsistency on your own side with your own criticism here.
Which is funny because these smug anti-theist debate me bros, they like to view themselves as these really edgy people. They're so punk, man. They're not being controlled by the social norms and moral taboos of today. They're beyond that. But again, that was like 20 years ago. If you're really that edgy and in favor of breaking these moral taboos,
then why don't they just say the N-word?
That's what I thought, retard. You're just a poser.
I think you're missing the point. The point is not to object to any and all standards of behavior.
The point is to say that you're safe edgy. Yeah, you're again just missing the point. I can't tell if it's on purpose or not. I literally just said these people like to view themselves as very edgy, that they're breaking all these moral taboos, yet they're pearl clutchers themselves. It's a very simple point. I don't even need to dwell on this anymore.
The point is to object to pointless and counterproductive standards of behavior.
These people aren't what they pretend to be. You aren't edgy. In 2026, you're the very pearl clutcher you're pretending to fight. Who here is getting offended over a single word? Not me.
Your video is called Why I Hate Atheists Debate Me Bros. That makes it seem like you're a bit offended by them.
I've had problems with atheists debate me bros. Yeah, that's why I'm making the video, period.
And that's the core problem I have with these people. Their perception of themselves has nothing to do with what they are in reality. And I don't have problems with atheists. Like, a lot of atheists are pretty chill.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with atheists. They're pretty chill, man. So why are you saying at the beginning of the video that I think that atheist YouTubers are losers? That's like me watching a video of yours of you critiquing a Christian, calling out their behavior. And then I say, TMM actually hates all Christians. TMM hates Christians in general. By the way, he does use the word all later in the video that I'm comparing myself to all atheist YouTubers. I could say the exact same thing to you. You just hate all Christians, but that would be dishonest, kind of like you. So I'm not going to do that.
These mid-witted pseudo-intellectual debate me bro atheists. And what I mean by debate me bro, to be very specific, is that we have this type of person that views the people they disagree with as unintelligent, uneducated, and illogical.
I don't aim my criticisms at people, I aim them at assertions. I wouldn't disagree with a claim if the claim is intelligent, educated, and logical. The only reason to disagree with
The problem is you're just a liar. You just lie about me. You're like, this is a horrible argument against atheism or atheist ethics. I'm not talking about atheism or atheist ethics, buddy. We're talking about people. That's what this channel's about. I always talk about people. That's one of the main things I love to focus on.
any claim or belief is because I believe it to be unintelligent, uneducated, or illogical. You're criticizing atheists right now because
Yeah, I'm criticizing atheist debate me bros. Get it right, buddy.
You believe that their behavior is either unintelligent, uneducated, or illogical.
I actually clarify exactly what I mean and touch on that a bit more in the part of the video you cut out, you snake.
From what I can see, all they're doing at the end of the day is simply rationalizing their beliefs after they get to it. They come to their position and then they try and rationalize and explain why it's true, rather than using that reason and logic, that high IQ they supposedly have, to arrive at their opinion. Everything they have is simply being utilized to defend their beliefs and attack those that they disagree with, which makes them not that much different from anybody else. That's how most people are. Right-wing, left-wing, atheistic or theistic, most people operate and live that way. But the more you deny it, the more detrimental it will be in your life. And that's the end of this video. Oh, God bless you.
Excuse me, what did you say? Do you have any evidence that God blessed me there? Where's your source of
I don't really want to debate. Golly, no, this is not what I wanted. I just wanted to...
How often have you seen atheists get upset by this?
It's so slimy. Look at this. He says, how often have you seen atheists get upset by this? Atheists? We're not talking about atheists. We're talking about anti-theists or atheist debate me bros. The reason why I say atheist many of the times is because atheist debate me bro is a much easier term to understand than anti-theist to a lot of people. I've brought up anti-theist to people and half the times they're like, What's an anti-theist? I don't know what an anti-theist is. What's that? Atheist is much easier to understand and grasp. That's what we're talking about right now. And I'm not criticizing quote-unquote atheists. We're again focusing on a specific group of them being the antisocial, insufferable type, the debate me bros. And yes, I have had people act this way to me. Not this exact example, because guess what? Why did I use the example of God bless you and then a person gets angry? Because that's funnier than what actually happened to me. Editor's note, I was debating with myself whether I should share the story I have on what inspired that little skit. And then I realized it's not wise of me to share little private stories online to people like that. However, what I will say is this. What happened to me and what that story was based off of was a lot worse. Yes, anti-theists can be real assholes. They can be very antagonistic when you're minding your own business. Am I making a general statement towards atheists? No, because most sane, normal people are not like that. However, there are always unfortunate exceptions to the rule.
Debate me, bros. Theist or not, are just insufferable people. But what's so funny is they like to claim that they're holding the logical position, that they're guided by reason and logic, not simply emotion like everybody else who disagrees with them.
I don't believe that every theist is a theist because of emotion, but lots of them are by their own admission. William Lane Craig, quite famously, will admit up front that he lowers his epistemic.
I'm not criticizing people on the basis of why they believe something to be true. There are multiple reasons to believe something to be true, and I'm not holding that against them. You just have to be honest and transparent of what that is. Stop putting up with this front or this facade that you are more intelligent or more educated or more logical than you are simply for holding a particular set of world beliefs. That's my problem. That's my objection.
Bar with respect to the evidence for God because he so desperately wants Christianity to be true.
Clearly, this is a sign of higher intelligence to them. Yet, if you ever interact with these people, you know, it doesn't make any sense. Logic, reason, and intelligence, these are traits that are universally useful and applicable in life.
Logic and reason are useful because we invented them to be. They are.
Well, we're going back to the exact same thing. I'm not going to address this again because we already talked about it at the beginning of the video.
Yet for some reason, this extremely intelligent debate me bro tends to be a loser. I mean, the common archetype of the debate me bro is this guy who doesn't take care of his appearance, smells really bad, and is just an unlikable loser. If you were truly intelligent, why don't you leverage that to making your own life better and getting the things you want?
You say that as though there aren't lots of people who've become rich and successful by being debate me bros.
Tell them about per capita. I'm getting to it.
What percent of people who are debate me bros or try and get into this niche are successful? What percent, TMM? What percent? Give me the stats. You guys are all about sources and all the rest. Which is source? It's not big. I'll tell you that right now.
Also, you don't have to be an intelligent person to hold an intelligent belief.
You don't have to be intelligent to hold an intelligent belief, and holding a belief that's wrong or stupid doesn't make you stupid. Damn, it's almost like we're separating the beliefs from the people here. Kind of like what I've been doing in this video called Why I Hate Atheists Debate Me Bros. Damn, that's so smart, TMM. You're really observant there. Golly, you snake.
There are so many debate me bro channels out there, especially the atheistic kind. They view themselves as logical, reasonable, and intelligent. Yet you can't utilize that intelligence to grow your channel or post good videos?
Do you think every atheist debate bro channel is smaller than yours?
Do you think that every debate me bro channel is smaller than you? Oh my word, no, I never said that. Let's go with statistics here, because you accused me of a lot of fallacies later down in the video. What percent of YouTubers, period, YouTubers, are bigger or smaller than me? When you reach 100,000, and look, I'm pretty small still compared to where I want to go, and I'm bigger than the majority of YouTubers out there. There were statistics that came out that said like about 80% of live streamers get anywhere from 0 to 3 viewers. The majority of people out there. I'm not bragging. I'm simply saying it's very hard to become successful on YouTube, period. So this idea, this notion that I'm at all making a false comparison. Oh, I'm just ignoring all the successful Debate Me Bro channels out there. I would argue to say you're ignoring all of the ones that failed, because all of the ones that fail go unnoticed. You never even get to see them. It's insane what happens here. You're statistically fallacious. That's the problem.
I mean, even the bigger ones that people know of are just relics of a past time.
Not true.
You're wrong, because look at this. There are channels bigger than you out there, Remnant. Let me prove it. Let me prove how wrong you are. How there are so many good Debate Me Bro channels out there. Let's mention Alex O'Connor with 1.8 million subscribers. Oh, damn, buddy. What percent of Debate Me Bro channels out there do you think have 1.8 million subscribers? How many channels in general have an equal amount to that or more? You literally accused me of cherry picking in a couple of seconds, yet the examples you give are like, what is this? Also, I'm not even calling him an atheist Debate Me Bro channel. I wouldn't even call Alex O'Connor that. I like Alex O'Connor's content. I haven't been watching him as of late, but I used to watch quite a bit of his stuff when I had much more time. I wouldn't say Alex O'Connor falls under the definition of a Debate Me Bro because he's not insufferable. He's not incredibly egotistical. He doesn't look down on people who are Christian for simply being Christian anymore. You could make the arguments that earlier when he was a smaller channel, he was that. Okay, that's true. However, Alex O'Connor is actually just an enjoyable person to listen to and hear discuss and debate. Debate people like Trent Horn. Good conversations, very good and civil. It's not smug, arrogant, or insufferable. He's not the type of person I'm talking about. I'm not talking about atheists, period. There are so many atheist channels I love. Like one person I literally watch every day is Joe Bart. He is an atheist. He's one of my favorite YouTubers out there, by the way, and he's an atheist. Another good channel who dives into philosophy is Unsolicited Advice. He's an atheist. I don't have a problem with him, and he's certainly bigger than me, and he's certainly more well read up on these things than me when it comes to philosophy, and he does even touch into religion. They have some good conversations. Again, you're just misrepresenting me all the time. I never said atheists. I said atheists debate me, bros. And I don't know as much for a genetically modified skeptic. One second, my cat is knocking on my door. Genetically modified skeptic. I can't say much of anything about him right now because I don't watch his stuff. I know he's made some cringe videos like how he almost went down the alt-right pipeline or something like that. I don't know if I would classify him as a debate me bro. And it really goes to show that you claim I'm cherry picking in a couple of seconds, but the two examples you give are statistically speaking insane. The amount of YouTubers that even have the amount of subscribers these two people have is incredibly small. So you cannot be accusing me of cherry picking.
The biggest atheist channels are some of the newer ones
that people don't tune into anymore. Yet again, if you were truly intelligent and logical, you'd be able to figure out after 1,000 videos why nobody is watching you despite you continuing to post. Come on, aren't you smart and logical? Find that pattern. Why don't you leverage your so-called intelligence for literally anything else in life other than trying to win and look good in debates? For the people who claim to be so smart and logical, they really fail to adapt or evolve in the real world.
This video should be shown in logic classes as an example of the cherry-picking fallacy.
That's so ironic coming from you, bro.
Which makes a lot of sense with the data out there, because when you compare atheists and theists, it shows that atheists have a lower self-reported bias and dogmatism, yet display higher amounts of it when they're tested. As for IQ, I'll get to that because I know that's going to be one of the #1 objections atheists have to this video.
That's not my objection, because whether someone's...
That's not my objection. Yeah, wow, I'm not covering your objection, buddy? I wonder why. Maybe because the video's not about you. You're at best a footnote in this video.
Because whether someone's claims make sense and fit the evidence is not determined by the IQ of the person making the claim. For all I know, you could have a sky-high IQ. That wouldn't change the fact that you're strawmanning and cherry-picking.
So here's the problem and something I've noticed, especially when watching this video. He said, I'm strawmanning, I'm cherry picking, I'm committing these fallacies. Okay, real quick TMM, who am I strawmanning? Why did you accuse me of strawmanning? Because maybe that sounds more sophisticated. That sounds more intelligent to say, you're strawmanning. It sounds much more sophisticated to say I'm strawmanning rather than saying who I'm misrepresenting and what I'm misrepresenting. You never went into detail about that at all. You simply said, this video doesn't debunk atheism, even though it literally never mentioned atheism anywhere. The title of the video and the subject is Why I Hate Atheists Debate Me Bros. It's not talking about Christianity, how it's right or true. It's not talking about how atheism is wrong, how it's illogical, how it's bad when it comes to ethics. None of that. I never mentioned any of those things because the title of the video wasn't aimed towards that. You're claiming I'm strawmanning, but who am I strawmanning? That requires a person. Did you know, TMM, not all atheists actually believe the same things? That's insane! Did you know that some anti-theists believe that they're smarter than Christians by virtue of believing different things? What? Did you know that other atheists don't actually believe that at all? It's crazy, but that's actually the case. People have different sets of beliefs when it comes to these things. I'm addressing a lot of general misconceptions people have when it comes to this subject, about how they view themselves as more intelligent on the basis of disagreement. Right now, I'm not going to say, you're just cherry picking and doing the straw man fallacy. I'm going to explain in clear, simple words why you're wrong without using sophistry like you just did. I didn't say any of these things. And the reason why you're wrong is because I wasn't talking about you. Again, you're just a footnote to this video, used as a little example for 3 seconds. I'm not claiming I'm representing your beliefs at all.
I mean, there are channels out there for the sole purpose of farming response videos to Christians.
Oh shit, it's me.
Yeah, it's you, and you didn't say I was even wrong with that, because you do farm response from Christians and other religions, because you're a slop channel. Your videos haven't changed in the past 10 years. That's why I included you as the example in this. You can't even object to that.
And they even do it to people like 90-year-old grandmas. Look at this old woman and how she doesn't know what she's talking about. You're falling for X, Y, and Z fallacy. So why wouldn't they make a response video to me? Like, there's something unironically wrong with these anti-theists.
I'm not an anti-theist.
I'm not an anti-theist, he says. What's really funny is, look, I linked in your video in a post. You know what people said? A lot of atheists came to me in the comments and flat out said, he's not one of us, he's an anti-theist. These people like to pretend as if they're just an atheist. The reality is they're very antagonistic, and they're trying to just not own up to the name anti-theist because it gives them a bad rep. That's what your own atheist friends are saying about you, buddy.
Believe whatever you want as long as you act on those beliefs at your own risk. If you put a video on the internet trying to make a case for your beliefs to the public, I'm going to explain why I don't find your arguments convincing.
That's amazing, man. So you're ignoring the part where you lie about me? Where you literally cut out half of the video and you raise objections to things I literally address in the part that you edit out? That's insane, bruh. So no, this is actually a bold-faced lie. You should have just said, I'm not an anti-theist. I just like to lie and misrepresent people online.
What's the problem there exactly?
What's the problem with lying, buddy?
They have a serious problem. They have a compulsion to try and prove everybody and everything they disagree with wrong.
Nope, I just enjoy explaining why I find unsound arguments unconvincing.
You didn't address my arguments. You cut them out of the video, and you also misrepresented me.
It's a perfect case study for what I'm talking about here. Pondering Points has 3 videos made. Each one has thousands of views. 51,000, 99,000, 179,000. Absolutely phenomenal. I'd be happy with those views myself. And I'm like 70 times bigger than this guy. But when you look at the titles, who do you think is going to be watching these videos? Look at this. Argument against atheism. Atheism debunked. I mean, if you click on that video, it's got 600 likes and 4,000 dislikes and an astronomical 3,456 comments. I mean, that's like 1 comment per dislike. My goodness, this guy single-handedly summoned every anti-theist on the fucking internet to shit on his videos. I'm telling you, there's something inside of these people driving them to click on every video they see and to leave a dislike.
Congratulations, you've discovered how rage bait grifting works.
So right after I describe Pondering Point's channel, where he says things like atheism debunked, what does he say? He says, congratulations, you discovered how rage bait grifting works. So when you make videos talking about how you debunk atheism, that's rage bait grifting? That literally is a self-indictment right there, buddy. You literally make videos talking about how you debunk Christianity. So also, keep in mind, there's nothing even that provocative about saying he debunked atheism. If he genuinely believes that, how is that wrong? You're saying that's grifting. You're accusing him of lying. I'm accusing you of lying because I have evidence. I can show it and substantiate it. Have you watched his videos? Also, when you say somebody is grifting, you're saying that they're lying about their beliefs for profit. 1, that indicts yourself. You make videos just as provocative like that. Dressing up as it with demon horns, you have to say he is by definition rage bait grifting too. These people have engaged in a lot more rage bait grifting than Pondering Points has. These people, I guarantee, I can pull up dozens of titles and thumbnails way more provocative against Christians from these very people. So are you calling Aaron Raw, Matt Dillahunty, and yourself, and pretty much the entire atheistic community that makes videos responding to Christians and being antagonistic in the thumbnails, grifters now? You are insane. So you cannot even live up to your own standards. You've posted like, I don't know, 1,000, maybe 2,000 videos? How much has this guy posted again? Let me see. 1,300 videos. And quite a few of them, if you just type in TMM Christianity, a lot of them are clickbaity, rage baity, very much so, undoubtedly. So that's an indictment of yourself if you genuinely believe that. Notice he didn't say a single thing, not a single thing about the other people who were rage baiting at the beginning, because he can't call his beloved atheists grifters, right? At the beginning, he was like, was this shot at an ethics debate? Were they truly trying to antagonize people? I need some more evidence. I need you to empirically back that up with a strong source. for that claim, sir. But he feels so entitled to make accusations about pondering points for simply saying he has an argument against atheism. Just a person saying they have an argument against atheism, that's grifting. But when it comes to a person literally dressing up as Satan to get a reaction and directly profit from people's outrage, that's not at all rage bait grifting. Trust me, bro. Our standards of evidence are totally consistent here. Like, golly, this guy's living up to the anti-theist Redditor stereotype. They need so much evidence for any little claim you make, but they feel entitled and perfectly free to make any sort of accusation they want themselves. They can make all the baseless accusations. But when it comes to me, I gotta have all the evidence in the world to substantiate any little thing I say.
And to write a whole book-long essay trying to dismantle what they said.
My videos have never been accused of being book long.
They're not being accused of being book long. You're being accused of being a liar. That's what's happening, buddy.
It's not normal or healthy behavior, people. All the chill atheists I know, when I talk to them, this is what they gotta say. Yeah, I don't really believe in God. I just do whatever I want. I don't really know what's out there. I haven't had an experience with anything. I don't see any evidence, so I just don't believe in it. That's it. That's all they say.
And there are lots of videos made by theists trying to rip into that position. That's fine. Make your case. I'll explain why I don't find it convincing. What's the problem?
I actually do touch on this. I do talk about why it's a problem to be obsessed with people you disagree with and feel the need to constantly correct them. I do. Did you know that? Oh wait, your audience won't fucking know because you cut that out of the video. But buddy, you aren't exceptionally different in any way other than being a narcissistic, angry that is still holding on to and being controlled by religion. Because if everything you do is in reaction to or opposition to us, guess what that means? Who's really in control here? If I do something and it guarantees a reaction, like tons of people making reaction videos, or leaving very long, angry comments, who's really in control here? It's not the angry anti-theist. And I don't mean to say this like in an edgy, weird way, like, who's actually the big brain here? No. It's just human nature and how people are, which again makes anti-theists merely a shadow to theists, nothing more. Because again, normal atheists who just live their lives and do whatever they want, they don't care about us. They are free agents. They just do whatever they want. They're living up life. Not you, though. Think about that.
But these anti-theists, though, all they ever do in life is literally just hate watch these theists. It's like the funniest thing I've seen. These people, at the end of the day, if you think about it, they're just a shadow of God and Christianity. They don't have a real direction or initiative in life. All they ever do is just react to and hate against these people.
I don't hate anyone, but why is reacting to arguments you find unconvincing by explaining why you find them unconvincing not a direction in life?
No, it's not everybody's direction in life, and it's not a good thing. Why? Because I literally explain it in the half of the video you cut out.
That's it. It's insane. And that's how I know I'm going to get a lot of responses to this video, especially in the comments as well. Just go down and read them. It's a fun time. And one thing they will consistently say is, actually, random studies show strong evidence that atheists are actually smarter and bigger brained.
What does this have to do with anything? Who's smarter doesn't determine who's right.
And that's it. That's it, the end of this video. So in the video, he showed a total of 7 minutes and 25 seconds of my video. He removed 5 minutes of my video. That's what we're dealing with. That's this guy. What a load of horse shit. You're just a liar. There's not much else to be said about that. And we close it. That's it. Guys, that's enough for today. I think we watched enough of that.